All right, guys, we're talking Crime 101. Really enjoyed this film, was able to get an early screening of it, and we're going to dive right into it. So it's directed by Bart Layton. He did the documentary film The Deepest Breath, and he's known for documentary films. So this is the first film I've actually seen from him, and let me tell you, it is good. He knows what he's doing here. All right, let's dive into the cast. It stars Chris Hemsworth as the Joel Thief Davis. We got Mark Ruffalo as the washed-up police detective named Lou. And we got Halle Berry as an agent insurance saleswoman named Sharon, who wants more out of her career. We also get Nick Nolte as the boss for the Joel Thieves. And we get another Joel Thief played by Barry Keoghan. Crime 101 is a crime thriller based on Don Winslow's novella, following an elusive Joel Thief executing heists along the LA 101 freeway as a relentless detective closes in, where in the final act, all characters will come together connected into one big heist. And that's as much as you need to know going into this. We're going to keep this review spoiler free, and I'm going to explain why this film is so damn good. So here's what I really enjoyed about this film. It's got that classic moody crime thriller vibe, and that's exactly what this director was going for. He talked about movies like Heat and Collateral and wanted to stay in that 70s, 80s, even a little bit of that early 90s era crime thrillers with that nice amount of action, but plenty of drama and storytelling, and I think he really does hit the nail on the head with that. He said he spoke to real Joel Thieves about building up his characters, how to create them, what motivated them, why they are the way they are, and it really builds a lot of ground base for the Joel Thieves that we see in this between both characters, played by Chris Hemsworth and Barry Keoghan. So it was really neat to see that he did his homework, and it shows on the big screen. All right, let's get into what I liked about this. The acting and chemistry between these characters, that stood out to me right away, especially when we get a scene with Mark Ruffalo and Chris Hemsworth. I forgot they were even on screen before. Really, like, we got the Hulk and we got Thor, but you don't even see them as that. You forget that they ever shared a screen together, and they do so good blended into their roles, and the chemistry is fantastic. Even Halle Berry stood out in this one. Honestly, there wasn't one bad actor, and I loved it because everybody seemed to have fun making this. They got absorbed into their characters and helped us as an audience fall right into this film. Even LA itself felt like its own moody character vibe, and the cinematography is so good in this. The transitions, just the way it blends the scenes together and brings our characters close but not in the same shot. And it's until the end we get all these characters meeting up, but they slowly tease characters passing by each other. Maybe they're a street away, a block away. One of my favorite scenes in this, keeping it spoiler free, is Mark Ruffalo's a detective, and he's inside doing his whole thing, saying, oh, the heists are happening here, and he's briefing all the other detectives. And outside the office window, you literally can see far down on the highway, the shot zooms in, starts there with a Joel Thief stalking one of his victims. They're driving, he's following the victim, and it pans back and goes into the office building where Mark Ruffalo's at, giving a brief on where these heists are at and the whole motives and everything like that. So it's neat to see that right outside that window, he's been trying to crack this case for years. Right outside the window, it's literally him, and he's about to go down on another heist, and you don't even know it. So, and there's a lot of that. It happens all the time in this, where they're just blending together, and I love that about the cinematography in this. Great tension in this. Really, really edge of your seat tension in moments, and it's grounded in realism. The action is not overdone. It feels real. The car chases felt very grounded. Everything felt so fun, but not over the top to where it turns into just some crazy 80s action crime drama. No, this was very more based in the realistic crime thriller, and it shows that he really did his homework. He knew exactly what he wanted to set out and do, and he nails this whole story. Listen, this film has a sense of confidence to it that I love. It doesn't need to sit there and spoon feed its audience with, oh, here's the plot. Here's why this guy did this. He's bad. He's good. This is the moral choice that we're making. It gets that out the window and just puts it on the screen, lets you decide it, and it treats us as an audience like adults instead of just giving us everything. And I love that about this. There's no politics, no political message, just a damn good classic film that sits in that crime thriller from the 80s and 70s like he wanted it to be. It just feels like old school Hollywood. Really no special effects. Everything was so well done, and I think that's what keeps this grounded and realistic. Even the action and car chases look so good in this. Another one of the greatest points that I love in this is you want so many of these characters to succeed, especially Halle Berry's character, Chris Hemsworth, and Mark Ruffalo. When they all three combine, even when you're watching their personal lives before all three cross paths, you're like, I want her to get that promotion. I want Mark to close this case and catch the thief so that he could get up in his job. And then you look at Chris Hemsworth, but you're like, I want him to succeed too, because I want him to get the money and run and just get away and just move on and have a successful life. And you just see this and you could relate to all of them. You want them to like come together, succeed. But when you realize they're all going to cross paths and maybe they all can't come out of this clean, it's got you on that nail-biting tension of, oh my God, am I going to see one of the characters I like not make it? And it's hard because you like all the characters. And I think that's what's so fun about this film is when they cross paths and the culminating event, the final heist, you get to sit there and really just sweat about it. What is going to happen? Is my character going to really pull away with what I want them to see on screen? And how the hell is this director going to do it? And he does a fantastic job. And it really stood out to me when they all come together. I love the ending of this film. Some cons. There's not many, man. I really did love this film, okay? At times it feels that it could drag, be a bit slow. Maybe some scenes are a bit long, and it's not huge. It's not a huge problem, okay? It's just at times it could feel that way. It's not a crazy action film, but that is good, okay? But it can drag in moments if I was to really be nitpicky here. Another con, Nick Nolte. Love him in this. He's just a gritty crime boss. He looks the part, plays the part, sounds the part, but the problem with sounding the part is it is hard to understand him. I would absolutely be tossing some subtitles on when I rewatch this at home. Other than that, I really enjoyed everything. I enjoyed the plot. I enjoyed the first, second, third act. I like the way it culminates. I like our ending. I like the way we close every character and give everybody as a fantastic character arc. They all have good stories, and the way all three of the stories blend together into a culminating event. Poetic, perfect. I wouldn't change anything if I was the director, writer, anybody. Like, I think this is how you make a classic crime thriller, old school Hollywood feel into modern cinema. It did a fantastic job at that. Some fun facts before we go. This film was offered more money from Netflix before it got accepted through MGM. So MGM had their offer here, Netflix had their offer up here, and they chose to go MGM because they didn't want this to go to streaming. They wanted this to hit the big screen. And I love that about this film. And that's why you guys should absolutely go check it out. And another fun fact is Mark Ruffalo's character was actually originally supposed to be played by Pedro Pascal. I'll be honest with you. He's a good actor. And I don't know if he would have nailed Mark Ruffalo's vibe in this. And I'm not a huge Mark Ruffalo guy, but this makes me like him. This is a really good role. He nails a police detective. I didn't know if he'd really be able to do it. And going in and watching this, I love him. He really hits this role well. He absorbed into the character here, and I'm glad we didn't get Pedro. Nothing against Pedro Pascal, but Mark Ruffalo did a fantastic job. Is just that washed up, aging detective who's just trying to crack a case and nobody believes in him, but he knows he's right. And I love that about this. So very good cast. It's neat to see that Pedro was on the books for it, but I'm kind of glad he didn't get it because what we got here is something special, and the chemistry amongst these actors is fantastic. Absolutely check this out in theaters, guys. This is worth it to me. And if you can't do that, wait till it comes home. Buy it there, watch it. But I think this benefits from the big screen. It had a really good score. It had really good cast, really good acting. This is worth your money, okay? And it's got that classic Hollywood vibe that's not preaching any political message. It's just a good crime thriller. All right, we'll check you on the next one. Please like, comment, subscribe, and stick around for more movie reviews and movie news going forward, guys. All right, take care. Peace.